Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be taking a look at the newest addition to Dice Throne. This is once again one of their standalone, cross-compatible battle boxes. This isn't the whole battle box, but this is Santa versus Krampus. So this is coming out just in time for the holidays. It's hitting Kickstarter backers now, and I believe they're going to try and get it out on retail shelves after that so that you can pick this up in time for the holidays. So a very specific themed box, but it's all of the typical Dice Throne goodness, which I absolutely love this system. I love the production value of this game. I have everything Dice Throne, except for a few things which I'll discuss here. But for the most part, it's the core box. Obviously, there is some patch kits for Season 2. They updated some leaflets to just kind of do some power balancing. And then there's a promo pack if you join the Kickstarter, and then the premium sleeves, which you'll notice the one thing I don't have is the miniatures. When I play Dice Throne Adventures, I have no problem with the standees. They're nicely colored, and it's Manny Tremblay's artwork, so I don't have any of the standees for the game, and so I don't have them here. But let's take a look here. Here you can see Krampus is on somewhat complex side, and Santa's near the easier side. So if you're deciding on who should be who, pay attention to that. You could also, one other thing I really waffled on here of whether to pick up or not was they came out with metal dice for this particular version, so that they like jingled and clanked when you rolled them. I considered it, but at the end of the day, thought it might have been a bit much. Anyways, here is the inside of the box. You can always use this as a dice tray if you don't have one. And set of rules. I'm assuming, this is version 2.4. So it's a new version of rules. Not 100% sure what all has been updated, but here you go. And there are some tokens. So here you can see this is what you play with if you don't play with the miniatures, which again, I think is perfectly fine for Dice Throne Adventures. Because half the game, you don't play with the miniatures in front of you. You just play with your regular Dice Throne. Anyways, there's some tokens here that we'll see. I believe most of these right here are for Santa. These are definitely for Krampus. And I think this is Krampus as well. Alright, so let's get this back out. And Krampus is on top. So I guess we will take a look at Krampus first. So, and these are, they started doing this with Marvel Dice Throne, the colored trays versus them being all black, which is nice. So here we have Krampus's board, his sheet, and all of his stuff. So let's look at his board here. He is a level 4 weapon of choice is his little rejects. This holiday season, Krampus brings bad tidings and coal to all who have misbehaved. Alright, some clarifications here. Let's see what his extra stuff does. Negative status effect. Stack limit 4. Prevents 1 CP from being gained. The next time a player with 4 of these tokens would gain CP, they must first remove all coal tokens, then reduce the amount of CP gained by 1. Okay, so it's not instant. You have to build up the coal on their board, I think. Clarification? I don't know. Gift, unique status effect, stack limit 3. Spend to gain a reject. During your main phase, you may spend this token to draw a card from the reject deck and put it into play. This token may not be transferred by any means. Okay, and then rejects. So there's a separate reject deck in here. That's this one right here. Each reject may be activated once per turn to provide an immediate effect. Whenever a reject is drawn, it is immediately put into play, face up next to your hero board. When activating a reject, resolve the activation effect and then discard it. You may only have 3 rejects at a time. You can discard 1 to make room for 1, basically. And you can shuffle the discard pile to if you don't have 1 to draw. So let's, before we start looking at cards here, take a look at Krampus's board. Okay, so pretty standard here. Gain 3 gifts. and then gain 2 CP and draw 1. Okay. And what was it? Gifts during your main phase, you may spend this token to draw a card from the reject deck. So that's 3 reject card draws. Gain a gift and deal 7 damage. Large straight, draw 1 reject, or you may activate 1 reject without discarding it, and then deal 9 damage. That's nice. Spoils here, gain a gift, draw 1 reject, inflict 2 coal. Okay. And deal 9 damage. And then let's just look at his ultimate here. Gain a gift, draw 2 rejects, deal 10 damage, and then you may activate 1 reject, just 1. Okay. All right. So pretty standard board here. He doesn't have anything out of the ordinary. He's got like his, let's see how many, yeah, 1s, 2s, and 3s are the switches. 1 jingle, 1 present, 1 horns. So, you know, 1 of each. There, this is 3 5s. This one might be hard to obtain. Small straight, large straight, 4 6s, 5 6s, defense. Zoom in a little tighter there for you guys so we can take a look at the cards. Here are his CP and health dials. This is like his little sock puppet friend. And these look like all the rejects. Here's the dice. They are, you know, the standard backer marbleized ones. Trying to get you all the faces here. There we go. The numbers are a little hard to read on the Switch ones, but that's okay. You get the idea. All right, so these are your reject cards. Again, they all have this back on them. So I wonder if my sleeves, if there's separate reject sleeves in there. Interesting. Okay, so Dottie, add 3 damage, attack modifier. Attack modifier, heal 2, add 2 damage. Okay, inflict 2 coal. So these are nice to have, you know, because you can basically play them off to the side and they just wait until you are ready to play them. What I'm not sure is whether these are companions. So, you know, we've had a couple other, like the Huntress had companions, or a companion, which are different than status effects and tokens. And some people can, you know, get rid of tokens from you if you're holding on to them. But these are a little bit more difficult to get rid of. All right, so let's take a look at his cards now. All right, turn order card, obviously, and what is this one for? Randomizer? Is this the randomizer card? No, that should be in the promo pack. Anyways, here is his mythic card. Active ability. If an opponent has 4 coal, you may choose to remove them and deal 3 damage as an isolated source of undefendable damage. Flip ability. You may activate up to 3 rejects, then turn this turn without discarding them. So then you would flip it. And you basically lose it. Alright, Crusty Krampus. Promo card. Alright, here's one of his promo cards that's not in the promo deck. Gain 3 gifts. On any other outcome, draw 1. Regift. Do not discard the reject. Okay. Dottie's Diversion. If your opponents are inflicted with at least 2 coal, gain 2 CP. Okay. Spoiling's Surprise Attack Modifier. Bitey's Bite. Double the activation effect of Bitey. Okay, give a little. Discard a gift to deal 3 damage to a chosen opponent. Draw 2 rejects. Alright, so let's... There's his like cards, his kind of unique cards. Let's kind of put these out here. Deviled Eggs 2. Here, I always like these that give you, go from 1 option to drawing 2. There's Rejection 2 along with Charcoal Surprise. Rotter 2. Upgrading that one. Here's Spoils. This one also offers more. So if you're going for the ultimate, you know, having this out could save you. Misbehaving 2. What is this even? Okay, 1 damage extra. That's all it added. So not that big of an upgrade. Scavenge gets an upgrade, and SWAT gets an upgrade, and that's it. Bad Tidings does not get an upgrade, which is not uncommon. And then the rest of these you should be familiar with. These are all kind of the standard cards in most people's decks. All right. So that was Krampus. All right. Up next is Santa. So everybody's favorite, I'm sure. Let's see what Santa's little bio is. Don't let his festive cheer, jolly smile, and mugs full of eggnog lull you into a false sense of security. Now that's interesting. This says his complexity is a 3, but where did I see his? Yeah, here his hero complexity is listed as a 2. Interesting. Okay. All right, but let's look at what his stuff does. Cheer. Spend to reroll or change one of your die to a 6. A player with this token may spend 1 to reroll one of their dice, or spend 3 to change. Okay, just straight easy. And look at his. He doesn't have 4 faces. He just has 3 faces, or 3 symbols. Spend 3 for a benefit. A player may spend 3 eggnog tokens at any time to roll 1, and then he basically just gets the benefit. All right. So let's get this out of the way, and we will put out our board here like so. All right. So trim the tree, fireside chat. So this is 4s and 5s. So like so this will be easier to hit because there's 2 dice faces with that. Let's see. Reindeer games. Gain cheer, 2 eggnog, then deal 4. 1 damage per eggnog and 1 damage per cheer. Okay, gain a cheer, then deal 6 plus 1 damage per cheer. So you definitely want to kind of accumulate cheer and maybe even sit on it. Although you have a stack limit of 3, so it's not that many that you can sit on. Holly Jolly, gain 2 cheer, 3 eggnog, 6 undefendable damage. Yeah, pretty standard here. Let's look at naughty or nice. There's a lot going on here. After targeting an opponent, roll 1 die. Okay. Basically just get a bonus roll. And his ultimate, gain 4 eggnog and deal 10 damage. Immediately target the same opponent with an additional offensive roll phase. You get to go again. Could you imagine? Would it be possible to just keep chaining ultimates together with Santa? So you hit him with the ultimate, and then you get to do another offensive roll phase. It doesn't say you can't roll another ultimate. So essentially Santa gives you the opportunity to win the game in 1 turn. Ultimately. Because you could, depending on what you're playing, if you're playing 30 health, if you hit this, if you just get super lucky, have the right cards in your hand at the beginning of the game, you could potentially roll 3 ultimates in a row and they'd be done. Yeah, they'd be done for. So anyways, I could be wrong. If you guys feel like that's incorrect, let me know. But to me, that seems like Santa could get super lucky and end the game in 1 turn. I'm sure somebody at some point is going to do that on camera. I would love to see it. All right, here's his Rudolph is a badass. His combat dial and his health dial. I love the axe. He's Santa with an edge. And then here are his dice. They're okay. That would have been cool if they could have mixed in a little green into these. It's really just gold and silver and white. Silver and gold, I guess. Makes sense, but there's his dice. All right, here's his mythic card. During your upkeep phase, gain eggnog, and then flip ability. After spending 3 eggnog, roll the die 5 times in a row instead of once. Okay. All right, here's his unique cards. Rebel without a clause. Roll 1 on a 6. All right, so yeah. Ho, ho, ho. Gain that half as cheer. Gain 5 eggnog. Okay, the stack limit was 5. Rude Alf. Add 1 damage per cheer. gang deer instead of reindeer. Yeah, that one's okay. Extremely naughty. Look at that. Attack modifier. Play only after activating your naughty or nice offensive ability. Okay, right here. If your opponent is naughty, this attack becomes undefendable. Additionally, your opponent must apologize to you for being naughty or else receive 2 damage. Having a little fun with that one. A white elephant gift. Concealed cheer and 3 eggnog in one hand and nothing in your other. Your opponent chooses a hand. If they chose the empty hand, you keep the contents of the other, otherwise nothing happens. So, a lot of cheeky stuff going on here. Santa's helper definitely looks like someone else in the game. Discard 5 eggnog to heal 2, draw 1, cheer 1, gain a cheer, and deal 2 to a chosen opponent as an isolated source of undefendable damage. Alright, now let's look here. We can upgrade his defense. Upgrade this one again with the 2. I like it. Naughty or Nice can get an upgrade. Holly Jolly can get an upgrade. So again, trying to hit on 6 6s, 4 6s, or 3 6s is possible. Rosy Cheeks here. Festivities. And Trim Your Tree. So Fireside Chat does not get. And again, here's all the extras here. This must be the randomizer. Yeah. I just don't remember that back being on all the randomizers, but maybe it is. So no passive abilities on either character, which is fine. All right, so let's clean up Santa Claus here and take a look at the promo cards next. All right, I lied. I decided I wanted to look at the premium sleeves before the promo deck. So it says there's 50 of each, so I'm thinking there's not sleeves for the reject deck, which is a little unfortunate. I'm gonna have to look through the threads to see if people have already discussed this. But I take a look here, and yes, they all appear to be the same. So I guess you could figure out which one's which easily enough by looking at the front, create your own separate deck. But that also means that you hamper your true deck size by whatever it was, I think 6. So probably just sleeve those in clear sleeves for now so you can see the back. But these are your standard, these are very equivalent to like upper deck sleeves with the artwork on the back. If you're not familiar with their sleeves, they work just fine. And here are Santa's. So there are the 2 sets of sleeves. It'll be interesting to see if Krampus's all of his cards fit into his box with 6 extra cards too. So we'll see about that. All right, that was quick and easy, which is why I wanted to do that one next. All right, so this is the promo pack. These are ones that you can add into Dice Throne Adventures for the most part. I believe all of them are. So I think they threw the promo cards that you could get with the game already into the pack. So the rest of these, yeah, you can see that they have the like legendary moniker on the bottom here. That means you can gain them. Here's some commons. You gain them as loot in the game. So Nice Throne difficulty, scenario score 10 difficulty. Use normal difficulty with the following changes. Not sure what that means, but anyways, could you play, what's that for, all of Dice Throne Adventures? Anyways, so yeah, there's probably like a legendary, yeah, see there's 2 versions of throwing canes in here, so I'm not going to go all the way back into all these extra ones because, like here's Gingerbread Man 1, 2, and 3. So common, rare, epic, but again, you gain these cards as loot and then can add them to your hand. And you have to stay within your hand size, so that's why everybody gets 50 cards. Because you can increase your hand size as you play. But the legendary ones are really cool because they've got this reflection. So let's just peek at the legendary ones. What hands? Remove up to 2 King's Hands tokens from a chosen opponent. Ooh. Cookie Exchange. Reduce a chosen opponent's health by 4. Distribute 4 health among all heroes in any way desired. And Electro Gauntlets. Whenever you attack an opponent, roll 1 die. And Gingerbread Man 4. The CP cost of this card may be paid by multiple heroes. There's only 2. Add +5 damage to a chosen hero's attack. Alright. Technically, you could play with these. You could mix these in if you really wanted to. I mean, it's your game at the end of the day. But they are, especially the legendary ones, they are very powerful, and they're meant to help you increase your deck because the enemies, the AI enemies in Dice Throne Adventures, increase in difficulty as you go up. So, all right, and then we've got these are basically minions, and you can see some of these are very shiny. Hopefully that's picking up on camera. So yeah, let's take a look at these guys. These are who you play against during the kind of dungeon crawl portion of Dice Throne Adventures. If you're not familiar with it, half of every kind of there's 2 phases to every round. It's not really a round, but you will do like a portal crawl, and then you'll do a boss battle. Portal crawl, boss battle. And portal crawl is where you're moving your miniatures around and you're taking on these minor enemies that's only going to take you like 1 or 2 rolls to hopefully take them out. As you do that, you are finding loot, but also you have to unlock, the keys basically to get to the boss. So you may take some damage or carry some negative status effects over. Anyways, and you can see these guys are also ranked here. So these are all level 3s, or the shiny ones are level 4s. So Elphys has got a lot going on actually, but he is a level 4. The Yeti, man, these are almost like blinding me. They're so bright. And the Fates. Clotho, Glenda, Vakis, Atropos. Then the Slay Team, Winter Soldiers. That's funny. His arm. Ice Cold Sprite, and the Winter Clown. All right, so very cheeky, very fun. These will certainly get added in. If you don't have Dice Throne Adventures and you happen to get this pack or are waiting for it, and that's why you're watching this video, I highly recommend it because it gives you the ability to play Dice Throne Adventures, gives you the ability to play Dice Throne solo. And if you don't want to go through the whole portal crawl thing, you can just do the boss battlers. And I have videos on my channel of how to utilize those boss AI decks with standard characters in the game. It's not perfect, but again, it's your game. You can just make it work. So highly recommend Dice Throne Adventures. If not, find somebody who would be happy to take those off your hands. So last thing on the video here, we have our Season 2 patch kit. So these are basically, they made some adjustments to some of the characters here. I believe for the most part making them a little stronger. And so future printings will all have these leaflets included in them. You won't have to worry about that. And so if you picked up Season 2 in this Kickstarter, it should have these already in it. But anybody that had previously purchased Season 2, you can either pick these up from their website, you may have picked them up as part of the Kickstarter, or you can do a print and play option if you have a really nice printer. But just to briefly cover, I don't know 100% if I'm missing something here or there, I apologize. But for the most part on Vampire, the biggest thing was that her stack limit increased from, I believe it was 4 to now 5. And most of her stats here, what happens, I believe, got updated as well. Giving you the ability of what you can spend your blood power on. I don't think either of these changed at all. Here for the Tactician here, the biggest thing is here, he actually starts the game with 2 tactical advantage. So 2 of these tokens. I can't remember, this stack limit may have increased as well. But he now starts with 2. I'm pretty sure that wasn't happening before. And Constrict here, this is the big one. It used to be that when you put this on them, they only got 2 roll attempts, and could pay a CP for the third one. Now you only get one roll attempt and can pay CP to continue. So this got more powerful and targeted. I feel like this changed, but I honestly can't remember what it changed to. So, and then last but not least, Nira, the Huntress here. Most of the updates came around Nira and Nira's bond. So, one thing is that you can now defend any attacks that go against Nira. She can still use her defensive ability. She's protecting her friend. Also, this little point down here, if Nira is active during the roll phase, you can deal her 1 damage to re-roll one of your dice. And then Nira's bond here used to say you had to give up rolling for defense, your defensive roll, in order to use this, and this would just spread the damage out between the Huntress and Nira. Now, the way I read it is that you can still do your defensive roll and spread out your damage. So those, just a brief overview that I'm sure I'm leaving some out, but that's just a brief overview of the things, the changes that they made. Again, there's ways to get your hands on these if you didn't back the Kickstarter. Anyways, that's going to do it for our Santa versus Krampus unboxing. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, please consider subscribing to the channel. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.